projects of this nature. I'm here to give you the best possible advice that I can give you based on the information that we've provided. And I'm recording this call, and then we'll let you have it to the end of the meeting, and then you can use it for whatever you require, but you'll have a good record of what we've discussed. I've read your submission, and I understand that you're looking at buying this property. It looks like a great property with some good potential, actually. A lot of properties that I look at are very difficult, quite restricted, but this one does have good potential. So you've got a growing family. You see it as a great location for schools, etc., and you would like to maximise the potential of it. And it looks a little bit tired. You know, it was probably built about 25, 30 years ago. It needs a refresh, but as I say, it's got great potential.
Yeah, and I have a small budget. It's not tiny, so I know I can make improvements, but I just want to know all the different improvements I can make, and then I can decide which improvement works best for me right now. Okay,
well, the best thing for me to do is to share screen. So I've got the Rightmove information, so I'll go through some ideas with you. Okay, so those are the floor plans that you provided. Taking a look at Google Earth, actually. So this is the property on Google Earth, and that's actually the north side of it. So if you spin around, you can see that the garden is quite well established. You can see the garage projects out into the back garden, but you've got a south-facing garden, which is really nice. There's a few things that are quite simple to do. I'm going to take you through those. So you can probably see that at the moment, whoever has the house is using it as the garage as a utility room. They look like utility, you know, tumble dryer, washing machine, etc. So the garage isn't being used for a car. Not many of these garages are used for cars. They're generally used for storage. And in this position, this is a great opportunity to grab some more space for your living accommodation by converting the garage. The thing you have to be wary of is that if you convert your garage, you're taking away a car parking space. But at the front of your house from Google Earth, there is actually space there to put a bit of driveway in. So you've got room for a car on the front, and you've got room for a car here. And that means that you can convert the garage into living accommodation. The disadvantages of the house at the moment is you've got access through the living room to the kitchen. You know, it's a very small hallway. It's good that it's got a cloakroom at the front. That's really useful. But you've got a very small kitchen, and you are getting to that through the living room. So everybody wants open plan living, you know, kitchen, dining, living area, looking out onto the garden, especially with it south facing, is ideal. So a very simple thing would be to add an addition to the ground floor, a very simple single story extension. You could take out the wall here, open up the kitchen area, and you could actually make a much bigger kitchen. You could knock through into your garage and take that space as well. And effectively, you're creating a very large area across the back. Now, you could then extend your kitchen area. So you've got a large kitchen stroke utility. You've got room for a lovely sort of freestanding island in the middle there, which you could put some stools around. There's room for a dining table, a separate dining table, which will be at the lower level in the middle there. And you could identify a sort of a small sort of sitting area here, put a big TV screen on there, some sofas in here. And then what you've created by knocking through into your garage is a large kitchen, dining, living area. But you've also saved some space for storage. So, you know, you could put your bikes and your kids' toys, etc., in what was left. You could also, if you wanted to stop the circulation through the living room, you could put a secondary sort of back door here. So basically you would use that day to day. And you've got room for boots and cloaks and things here. You'd come in, you'd extend a little porch out here, and that would be what you'd use day to day. And then you come through there into your kitchen dining, and that would mean that you could put a sort of a glass screen across here, and that would give you a nice separate breakout living space on the front there, which would be where you get some peace and quiet when everything's happening day to day in the area at the back. So there's lots of potential here. It's not difficult to convert the garage. It would need to be insulated, dry-lined, insulated. You'd have to get building regulations approval for taking out some of the walls and structural alterations, but it's a fairly simple change. The only disadvantage I can see from this is that I think this is the only way through to your back garden. going through the garage at the moment. There doesn't seem to be a path around the outside of the house or to the rear of the house. So by doing this, you're really going to have to keep your bins on the front somewhere, and that would need to be considered. You know, you might have a bin store at the front here so that you can, you know, something very clever and tidy, which or next to the front door, or you could even sort of incorporate it in this lobby area, but you'd want to keep them obviously clear of the building. So that's a great opportunity. You're actually only creating an extension here, and the rest of it you are utilizing existing structure. So a very simple way of making the most of this property and keep the cost to a minimum will be to initially just open up this area here. So you open the kitchen out to the dining area, break through here. You'd have to dry line and insulate the garage to make it into livable, but you are creating then a big space across the back. Nobody uses their garages in these circumstances. They're all full of storage. And if you look back at the original, it looks like this garage already has a tumble dryer and washing machine in it. So you will be moving the utility area to the back of the garage so that you've got an area here where you could have all your boots and utility, you know, really nice size utility room actually, or it could even be a playroom if you wanted to. But then you put a secondary entrance on the side here. So you've lost your garage. You would need to use the front area for car parking because you need to get, you still need to get 2 spaces off the road on a 3-bed house. So you'd have to hard landscape the front so you can get your car on the front, because from what I can see on Google Earth, at the moment, there's some trees and planting here. They would need to go. And then you put a new doorway in here, and you could either have a lobby. Well, in fact, I would put like a porch canopy on here. So you could have a double lobby there if you wanted to, or just a porch, covered porch, and a doorway into here, which brings you straight into the heart of the house and the kitchen and the living area. And you've got room here for your kitchen would be probably here. You could take it a little bit further. I think we probably would keep a screen across here, a glazed screen, so that you're making your living room a nice separate breakout space. But you do have room to make an island. So you can put some stools around the island. You could have a dining table, maybe in this location here. And you do have room for sort of a sofa and a little breakout space here. So you've got a sort of a large scale open plan area across the back, and that's minimal changes. You know, you're putting a new doorway in on the side of the house. You are breaking out some walls internally and putting a glazed screen in. So that's an alternative, but I do think that an extension, you know, sort of a very simple single story box extension here could give you a massive opportunity.
And how easy is the process of going into my garage in my situation?
The floor will probably be a little bit lower than the main house because it won't be insulated, and you're supposed to keep a separate level between the garage and the house for safety. So you'd have to raise the floor level. You've obviously got to put a new glaze, either a window or a new doorway in here. If you decide to continue to use the front door, you could just have a sort of a full height window in there. You've got to insulate up the walls, which is no problem, and insulate the roof. This one's probably likely to have a truss roof on it, a very simple lightweight trussed roof. So the plasterboard ceiling on the underside, put lots of insulation in above. With the utility, you would insulate it, but you don't have to get it to a particularly high standard because it's not living accommodation. The utility is not counted as a living accommodation, so it wouldn't have to be highly insulated, but you would want to make it, you know, comfortable to work in. So yeah, pretty simple, really. A few structural openings, some steel work which would need to go through building regulations, but pretty simple. So another simple addition at first floor level, which could give you a real benefit, is you do have existing roof on the garage here. Now that will be cheap trusses, simple think trusses, but it wouldn't be an expensive maneuver to take those trusses off and to put some attic trusses on. You could reuse the roof tiles that you have, and you would create a space which was probably big enough for a nice dressing room or ensuite off the master bedroom. So you could break through here and you could get a shower or even a bathroom in here with some roof lights in it, a wash hand basin and a WC, and you might get some clothes storage in here. So for not too much money, you could create a really nice ensuite bathroom, which makes that a much more attractive master bedroom. And then, you know, the be all and end all really, but I think it might blow the budget for this property, would be for the extension on the rear to be a double story extension, which means that you could make an extra bedroom. So you would get rid of this bathroom here. You would break through here. You would still put that ensuite in over the garage. But effectively, you would put your bathroom over here. So that will become the master bathroom. You could get a window in here because the roof is low at this point. You could have a master bathroom in here for the children. And then you've got room to go into your master bedroom here. And that master bedroom could be, sort of in this location here. Lovely opportunity for a nice window over the back garden. And at that point, you are creating a new bedroom. So you've made it into a 4-bedroom house. Or that could be, so that's master. But this could be a study. And it could be open plan to the staircase if you wanted to. So you get to the top of the stairs and you've just got a big landing, study landing, a lovely picture window looking out over the garden. And you could put a desk in here and a computer. So if you're working from home, great opportunity to work from that point. Or the alternative is, of course, use the bedroom 3 as a study and make the 3rd bedroom at the back, looking out over the garden. So, this is a property with great potential. It's got car parking on the front, or the opportunity for car parking. It's got room for extension at the back over the garage. And the only disadvantage is the fact that you can't actually get to the back garden without getting through the garage. And that's the key. You've got to think about how are you going to get to the bins? How are you going to take the garden rubbish away? Things like that.
Is there any opportunity to go into the loft?
You could go into the loft. The difficulty with going into the loft space probably worth using would be this central area here. And the way to get to it would be to go up above the existing staircase and in. So really, you're going to end up with a space sort of that size. It's expensive going into the loft because you have to make sure that you've got safe means of escape from that loft bedroom. So you will get an extra bedroom up there, but you have to fireproof the ceiling on bedrooms 2 and 3 and the bathroom below. You have to put fire doors on all of the doors coming down to the entrance hall. That's your final exit point there. So once you've done that, it's cost you quite a lot of money. But more to the point, this will be one of those lightweight truss roofs, a think truss roof it's called, which means that it's very difficult to convert because the timber has all been engineered. So there's a lot of work to do. You can get conversion kits, but there's a lot of work to do to convert that loft into something which is usable. But yeah, it's possible. You could do that and you don't have to. There's no extension there. There is an existing roof you could work with. And you could put a dormer window on the back here, which will give you a little bit more headroom up there. You might even get an ensuite up there, but it all depends on the roof pitch. So if you look at the street view, you can see that the pitch roof is very similar to next door. So actually, it's that area there which you will be trying to convert. It's not very big. You're not going to get a lot of space up there. It's not a very steeply pitched roof. It looks like it's about 35 degrees. So it would be a lot of work for not a lot of gain, but it's possible.